Hello everyone, I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic and welcome to this weird, special, kind of different show of tarot readings by Janine. Tonight, we'll tell you why that is in a second here. But of course, you can find my co-host Julie at Maison Jupiter here on YouTube and also on the web at maisonjupiter.com. Julie, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hello, Jean-Claude. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And folks, thank you for joining us here tonight. We weren't supposed to do a show, but Janine and I spoke earlier this morning and we figured, wait a second here. There might be a way for us to salvage this schedule as Janine is moving around here in the next couple of weeks. I'm doing all of these projects and we came up with an idea to try to do both shows still during these next couple of weeks. So yes, we are going to be broadcasting on Mondays and on Wednesdays, and of course, here again tonight. Tonight, we're going to explain to you a little bit what we're going to do with this new crazy, different schedule of ours here for the next couple of weeks. So basically, Julie and I are going to sit with you tonight and talk about some of the astrology that is pertinent to us right now. We're going to talk about the pay-per-view investigation we just recorded with Janine earlier, just before this show. And then we're going to talk about basically these new episodes here that we're going to bring to you live from the Haida Gwaii. So basically on Monday nights now for the 3 following weeks, we will have Janine come up on the show at different times, depending on where she is and how she's traveling, to share with you live images, footage, video, and also general readings while she's on the road. And so she's asked Julie and myself to hold the fort on the Monday night for her. So Julie, anything else that you feel is exciting or that we must share with the audience here with respect to this Haida Gwaii update special broadcast with Janine?
Well, following what you said during the last live, I think on Monday, you were talking about this Mercury retrograde and the possible censorship. Mm-hmm. So I think this is going to be a great idea in order to keep your get under current and keep both of your channels, right? Because that's the goal here.
Right.
And I think the end of the retrograde also finishing on June 3rd is going to be squaring Saturn. So a possibility of a lot more censorship also. So I think this is going to be a great strategy to avoid that and even get some more higher frequencies with Janine's being on location to a natural site. So I think this is going to be raising the vibrations even more. Right. So
at first I thought, Janine, maybe we shouldn't let the Monday night show. Maybe I could still do it alone. And I'm like, but then again, I'm like, it'd be fun if, I could share some pictures. Can I grab them from your Telegram? And she says, no, actually, we could probably make it work. I'll dial in from wherever I am. And so that's what we're going to do next Monday and the following Wednesdays during her trip. And Janine said to me, if those guys want to see updates from the Haida Gwaii, this is going to be the channel to see it. So please mark your calendars and check our schedule here and join us for all of these cool upcoming shows. Okay, Julie, for tonight, we're going to spend a little bit of time here with the audience members. We wanted to chat about, first of all, this crazy lunar eclipse that just happened. Full moon lunar eclipse that just happened here a couple of days ago on Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on where you were. Share with the audience here a little bit and how that sets the stage here for the conversation we're going to have tonight.
Yeah, so the eclipses are really big events. It's ushering us into a new chapter of our personal lives, but also of the world. So collective also energies that are being triggered at this time. And this one is a full moon eclipse. I'm sure you heard me a lot of time talk about this one, but it's so important because it's not only this one day that was important for this energy, it's going to define the quality of the energies for the next 6 months. So this is like a huge event. Mm-hmm. And this one was conjuncting the South Node. So we were asked to let go of old limiting beliefs, mm-hmm. old emotions, everything that's being kind of heavy on our magnetic field, I want to say. So any kind of heavy energies that we've been carrying and that are no longer welcome for the next chapter that we're moving on to. So we were asked to let go of those, let go of a lot of traumas. It's inviting a lot of healing energies. So, and when we've discussed this subject many times before, but I want to really put some more emphasis on this because it's not only this one day that was on Sunday.
Right.
It's going to define the next coming weeks, because I hear a lot of people blame everything that's going on right now on Mercury retrograde, and I think that's kind of funny because Mercury retrograde, of course, it gives us some hardships, but it's like minor things. It's more like
Annoyances with your credit
Yeah.
card that suddenly doesn't work and it's supposed to work and you have to call the company 3 fucking times to get them to fix it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to French there. Yes, I've been dealing with that here today. Like,
Exactly. It's those things, you know.
Right.
And sometimes it puts into it sheds a light on dysfunctions in our everyday lives, in our lives, also in our relationships, depending on where it hits your chart, of course. But it's shedding a light on dysfunction, but it's not Mercury retrograde that's triggering all the big changes in your life. If you happen to have lots of events going on in your life, major things, it's the eclipses. It's not the Mercury retrograde. But of course, the two of them together, it's some big energies that we're
it's an explosive combination, as they say. Susan Lanterman says, yes, I'm physically purging since the eclipse. And Hankowitz had a good comment. Let me see if I can find that back up. He says, I feel like a different person after the eclipse. Yes, especially those of us who've been doing the work. It was very conducive to releasing all of those past traumas, those past programs that no longer support you. And we were sharing about this earlier last week, also already being in this energy. Sarah and I had gone through something of a big shift also. I think, Julie, you were echoing that same context, and so was Janine. So we're all kind of feeling it now. So even though, yes, there are some difficult moments, I think for the most part, people here who are doing the work are going to get a lot of benefits out of both of these two eclipses here, and the continuation or the determination, I guess, of that series. So that's very fascinating.
Yeah, I felt it too myself. Like I felt it easier for me to release personal things that's been blocking me. So if you've been if you kind of knew what you had to release before, I feel this, like he said, this energy was very conducive. Is that the word you were thinking? It was very conducive and easier to let go of, and I really felt it. But of course, I think it's going to feel easier for the people watching, because you guys have been doing the work, and you've been conscious of the inner world, the inner work. So for sure, it's going to feel easier for you.
Very cool. Speaking of letting things go, do you feel like sharing any of that, or is that too personal for the show?
Where were you?
Okay, let's move on, folks. I have another slide on the slide deck.
I'm not sure what you were talking about, but I'll think about it.
Okay, well, let's talk about this here. We're just now into this zone here until June 30. You just mentioned how the retrograde, yes, there's a little bit of annoyances, but share a little bit more. Hey, where did that go?
Yeah.
Retrograde. Really? Hold on. There you go. Okay. And yes, Jenny, Elisa, everybody's in the chat is saying how something has changed for them. She can see a little bit more clearly. A lot of people are feeling a little bit lighter. Some are still feeling dizzy. They're getting ringing in your ears too. I had a few of those by email today. So there's a lot of changes still happening on the forefront. But let's map out here until June 3rd what people can expect still from this kick-ass retrograde.
Yeah, before we enter, I just remembered something I might answer to your previous question of what I've been letting go of. I think personally, I've been letting go of on a lot of collective expectation of what my life should look as. So, like the age I'm at in life, I'm a woman, so I should be having kids, I should be married, I should be this and that, I should be there in my social life, in my professional life. So, and I've realized that, like, I thought part of me wanted those things, but now I'm like, oh, maybe it was more social conditioning than really me wanting those things. So I was letting go a lot of, those those expectations that came not from me, but from around me or even the society. So I've been letting go of those, and I felt a lot lighter and a lot more happier.
Wow, that's very, I think, poignant, and I think a lot of people will probably resonate to that too. In the last 2 years, I mean, we've been taught more and more to wake up to this collective idea, the social pressure that we're under, and we're seeing it more now because, you know, the volume on that front is so high. So it's really cool when we can turn that inwards also and realize perhaps that the things we're doing or that we're striving for are not really ours to begin with. They were kind of put there by the system and the matrix that we're in now. So yeah, wow, thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. That's really cool. I had problems with high expectations too. Good for you, Julie. Yeah, eternal sunshine. Agree. Those expectations, especially when they come from outside, you have to realize, well, why are they there? Was it parental? Was it societal? Was it religious and all that? And is it serving you in your highest good? And I think right now, these are the questions we have to ask. A lot of people will say, oh my God, beautiful, Julie. Thank you for sharing. Like, should I share Laura? Yeah, everybody loves that. Okay, very good.
Well, I would share. It's not always easy, but you know.
Yeah. Well, you always ask me the difficult questions. I thought I'd put one in there for you. Like, you see,
I'll try to.
Well, you'll pay me back the favor, will you?
Yeah, pay you back.
Okay, no, that one was for free, Julie. There, you don't have to pay. Violet Biggs, yes, I do have your package. She says, hello, Jason and Julie. I have a ton of packages. I finally have them all here. I think tomorrow Sarah is going to help me out. I'm going to do a pre-opening because there's so many things here, and then put the letters with each of the gifts. I think Sarah will just hand them to me, and I'll show them to you guys on the screen and say thank you to all of you. There's just a lot. But yes, Violet Biggs, I did receive something with your name on it. I did see it the other day. So we're good to go. And I think, when was the last day I went to the post office? I think 2 days ago. So we should be up to date. I should have everything here that everybody was trying to get to me. I know there was a few cards of notices of return to sender, but I caught them all in time. So I think we're good. So anyways, guys, tune in maybe tomorrow morning for this opening, box opening video, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Julie, back to
the retrograde. Yes. Okay, so I wrote some key points I think that are going to be really important to focus on during the retrograde. So the retrograde is from May 10 until June 3rd. And we say that the first day that Mercury goes retrograde and the day that it goes direct, so May 10 and June 3rd, are probably like the worst dates of the retrograde. So the energy is really emphasized, the dysfunctions, the minor annoyances of life, like we said earlier. Mm-hmm. So the first one, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Gemini until May 22nd. So it's going to be a good time to revisit old projects, old ideas. So everything that kind of was on the back burner, but you already thought about before, that's going to be a good time for you to revisit. The Mercury retrogrades are always good to all the revisit, rethink, redirect. So these are all good actions to take. Also, Gemini has to do with thoughts. So it's like a thinking sign. So identify and release limiting beliefs. So like I said, Mercury retrograde is going to shed a light on all dysfunctions, all things that you have to maybe redirect in your life, think about differently. So it's going to be a good time to really do some more soul searching and inner work. It's like the energy of Mercury, which is communication, thinking. It has to go inwards instead of outwards. So we're accustomed to texting, sending lots of emails. So we put this energy outwards usually, but this time during the retrograde phases, that's why it feels so uncomfortable, because we're not really used to it. Well, we have to direct this energy inwards. Mm-hmm. So also Gemini has to do with friends. So it's going to be a good time to reconnect with old friends if that's the case for you. Rethink your life plans. Also, it's going to be a good time to get more clarity. Not really maybe make big decisions at this time. Wait until Mercury goes direct again, but you're going to get a lot more clarity if you put things into perspective. And also, it's a good time to have harder conversations, but it's going to lead to more growth eventually. So Mercury also deals with communication, like I've said. So yeah, sometimes it's like uncomfortable conversations you don't really want to have, but it's in the long run, it's going to be a good thing to have those.
Okay.
And as of May 22nd, Mercury is going to be in the sign of Taurus for about a week. Yeah, a week and a half. So in that sign is going to be a good time to let go of resistance, because Taurus is a fixed sign. So when we have a lot of fixed sign involved in astrology, we want to hold on to the structures and the things we know. And sometimes we lack a bit of flexibility. So it's going to be a good time to let go of resistance and allow your thoughts to transform, your thinking processes, because again, Mercury, thinking. And well, everything that has to do with money is going to come up. So either personally in your life, maybe you're going to have to strategize differently about money or think differently about money, about abundance. But it's going to be a good time to having those conversations, and maybe more information about money is going to come up at this time.
Wow, fascinating. Well, that also connects with our last episodes of the Astro Woo Finance. We are collectively kind of reprogramming our understanding of the world we live in. I'm getting in it. Where's that coming from, Julie? Can you bring your volume down just a little bit?
Sure. Do you have an echo?
Your speaker volume just a little bit.
Oh.
Not the mic, but the speaker.
Not the mic. Okay. Yeah, I just did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was weird. Mercury retrograde. So our understanding that this planet is really a planet of abundance, and the scarcity has been programmed into us. Once we get rid of those old programs, we can start to co-create this abundance and this planet that we want. So we do get into that a little bit here in the Astro Woo Finance, and of course also in the latest Beyond Crypto Woo, the Hitchhiker's Guide. If you guys haven't seen that, please do go check that out. Today, we just recorded, let me see if I can bring this up here. I'm going to be putting this one up on the Insider Access Pass here tonight momentarily. We did an investigation on Lemuria. And it's really funny because it ties in to the last 3 or 4 shows we did with Janine and Julie. One being the Space Force, the other being the soul contracts, and the last one being Earth changes and people being displaced on the planet. So all of that should be triggering you into maybe some of this DNA activation that is currently happening for people who are descendants or who have genetic memory of being in Lemuria. So really, really cool show. We also recorded the one for Atlantis. That one will be put out next Wednesday. We're trying to pre-record these episodes here before Janine goes on her trip, and we're trying to not dislocate the schedule too much. So please, guys, on the Insider Access Pass tonight, you will have access to this. And I wanted to say a big thank you also to all of you on the Insider Access Pass. You guys make it possible for us to be here. So big thank you to all of you. And you'll see now, once you log into your Insider Access Pass main library, there is a button now for a coupon code for you to renew. Most of you now are getting close to that 12-month period from where you originally signed up. And so we're giving you a super big loyalty discount promo for you guys to renew. Now, a few of you are sending me emails today and yesterday saying, JC, I just bought the pass 3 months ago in December or January. Do I need to renew now? No, you don't. You're good, of course, for a whole year from the date of purchase of your membership, but you are still eligible for this promo. So if you choose to add an extra 12 months at the end of your current 1-year membership, you can use that promo code as well, seeing as the price is really, really attractive. So go ahead and do that if you like. Again, it's a big thank you, and a big thank you to all of you for supporting the show. Now, I noticed Mercury retrograde, quite a few people are having trouble using PayPal again today, especially for this renewal also. And so for some of you, I'll be able to do a manual transaction. If you're in Canada, I might be able to take an EMT and all that, but that's creating a backlog of emails. So bear with me here. I will be responding to each and every one of you and trying to find a solution to that PayPal. But also, just to mention, for those of you having trouble with PayPal, try a different browser. try a different device. Sometimes right now, with all the new updates on the browsers, there could be some issues with the PayPal payment processor. We've been talking about this for a while. And so maybe choosing a different device or a different browser might let you make that transaction as you usually do with your PayPal account. Hopefully that helps. And if that doesn't, I'll try to fix it for you guys on the back end. Okay. Next, Julie, let me see if I can go back here. Jupiter in Aries. Oh, yeah. So this is an interesting shift, and it's bringing a lot of changes also from here to October. Share this with the audience.
Yeah, so we've had so far Jupiter in Pisces since the late December of last year. So Jupiter in Pisces was about more of spirituality. It wasn't really a material energy to start with. And whenever Jupiter transits in a sign, we're going to feel its effect collectively a lot. And it's going to tell us what is going to be emphasized in society. And also what we're going to value, because Jupiter is a planet of abundance and also investment. So as of May 10, Jupiter moved into the sign of Aries, and it's going to be there until the end of October. So the energy is going to change very drastically. Well, has changed drastically because it's already there. Mm-hmm. So we went from a water sign until to a fire sign. So the energy is kind of very different. And also Pisces is the last of the 12 zodiac signs. So it's kind of an ending sign. So this is the sign where we clean everything, we detox, we purge. And when we get into Aries, we start new things. So this is a great energy for starting new projects. We're going to feel a lot more support from the universe to start things, to have a lot more energy. So this is going to feel very positive, I think. Let me mention what this means. So, and if you want to know how it's going to influence you in your personal birth chart, we talked about the 12 signs in the last Astro Woo for the month of May. So we've covered Jupiter in Aries for the 12 sign, if you want to know what it means, especially for you. So depending on the house it falls, it's going to have a slightly different meaning for you. But I'm going to, this one. So we talked on this one, we talked about the eclipse energy depending on your houses, on your signs. We've talked about Jupiter in Aries moving in Aries, so moving in the different house for you. And also I think we talked about Mercury retrograde, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of information in this one.
Absolutely.
So let me get back to Jupiter in Aries for the collective energy. So Jupiter brings expansion to any sign it enters. So all Aries themes are going to be a lot more emphasized for the next 6 months. So like I said, anything that starting new projects is going to be very much supported by the universe, but I would advise to wait after Mercury turns direct, so June 3rd and onwards. So it's going to feel a lot more supportive also to take action, because Aries like to take action, be very physical, be very enthusiastic. So this is going to be very positive. Also for people starting new businesses, again, wait after Mercury goes direct. But I think it's going to be very positive and very, we're going to feel energized. So feeling more driven, energized, also competitive, but it can also be a healthy competition type of energy, competition with yourself more than others. It's going to favor also physical activity, because Aries is very embodied. It really cares about his health, but in a more active type of way. So maybe doing more physical activities, walking outside, investing also in your physical health, because Jupiter is a planet of investment. Mm-hmm. And on a world stage, it's going to talk about more maybe military action, because Aries is a war sign. It's the warrior. And Jupiter is the planet of law, of diplomacy. So it can talk about maybe agreements between countries being made during this period. Also, maybe alliances, but also potential wars. So let's try to focus more on the diplomacy part, and I'm just going to mention every possibility for this energy. And as to weather, we've transitioned from a flooding type of energy with the Jupiter in Pisces to a really hot and dry weather for the next 6 months. Potential fires, also volcanoes. So anything that's really hot, that's really explosive is Aries. Also, on the financial stage, I think it can tell us that the price of gold is going to increase during this next 6 months, because gold in astrology is the sun, and the sun, it's exalted in the sign of Aries. So Jupiter, planet of investment, is going to expand the price of gold. So I think this is a good sign for that. And on a personal level, according to finances, I think we're going to feel a lot more responsible for our personal financial abundance, because Jupiter is the planet of financial abundance and Aries is an independent sign. So we're going to feel that we need to take maybe action in order to feel more secure financially, but we're going to feel more responsible also.
I love that. That's great. I'm sure a lot of people noticed that second to last line there, price of gold increase. A lot of people are waiting for that. And of course, silver is going to follow in this same energetic alignment, and perhaps even quicker and stronger. And if you guys want the details on that, yes, please do go and check out the last Astro Woo. We spent a lot of time on that in that one, and also on the Beyond Crypto Woo episode. So thank you for that, Julie. And Morningstar says, Janine, oh wait, hold on. Thank you both. Love the way Julie puts the info on paper. There you go. It's a great summary. Thanks, Julie. Thank you very much, JC, for all the hard work. Love you too. Love you too. Thank you so much, Morningstar. That's great. Gypsy Mama says, Insider Access Pass is so worth it. So glad I made the jump to it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, we've added quite a bit. When we started the show, there was about $300 to $300 and maybe $40 worth of pay-per-view episodes that we were selling for $240, basically $20 a month. Now we're up to about over $600 worth of content on there for almost the same price, even though we have all of this inflation. So it's an even better deal than it was before. So if you guys like those pay-per-views, maybe a good time to think about the Insider Access Pass and get yourself locked in there. Also, as we kind of deal with these weird PayPal issues, payment processor issues, and perhaps even more crazy inflation, as we are forecasting here very shortly. Pakistan, hello JC, hello everyone. Where's Janine? Janine is traveling. We talked about that earlier in the show. This is why we're doing this show, to kind of explain here that the schedule will be different moving for the next 3 weeks while Janine is on vacation. And essentially what we're going to do is a Monday night live from the Haida Gwaii update with Janine on location, and Julie and I here are going to be holding the fort on those. But we will still be doing our Wednesday night live shows with Janine. She's kind of arranged her schedule here, except for June 15, I think, is a Thursday, as opposed, or that could be wrong. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to have a Thursday here instead of a Wednesday. I might have made a mistake on that one. There's one anyways that is a Thursday, yes. Oh, wait, no, it's this one. June 9th. Okay, so instead of June 8th, Wednesday, June 8th, we're going to be doing the Thursday, June 9th, because I believe Janine is arriving on the 8th, and she won't have time to do the show, so we'll just push it back one day on this Thursday. At any rate, guys, just click on upcoming live streams here, and you'll find all of these episodes, and you can mark the calendars to the ones that are of interest to you. Also note, tomorrow Andy Sheckman will be back live at 1 p.m. We're going to be giving an update finally on all of these amazing Beyond Mystic silver bars that people have already started to receive. I think we're almost done. It was a crazy road, but we're almost done making sure that everybody on the pre-order list got their silver. And now we're about to open this to the public at large. So stay tuned tomorrow for that conversation to get a little bit more details on that. Hello, GC everyone. There was another question also. I kind of saw something. Bonnie says, hey, I always get the notifications at the end of the show. I don't know why I bother subscribing. I know, isn't that a bitch? YouTube doesn't send out notifications most of the time. So best way, Bonnie, and this is why I try really, really hard before the live shows. I post on Twitter. I post on Facebook. I do a community post on YouTube. And I also put it on our Telegram, Janine's Telegram, and Julie's. Not Julie's Telegram. No, we don't have your Telegram yet. But yes, I know the notifications here on YouTube are a bitch, and no, I don't control them. So, it just is what it is. But for these shows, though, the scheduled shows, they're always at the same time. So the ones that you like, we're really good keeping the schedule unless there's weird things happening. But for the most part, we keep a pretty steady schedule for you guys. Okay, back to main chat. So Julie, we're about half an hour in here. We wanted to spend time to share this with the audience. We want to talk about Lemuria, which we did. We're talking about the schedule. We're talking about all these crazy alignments. Do you feel like maybe doing some maybe oracle cards for the audience? Do you want to take like general questions?
Sure.
What do you feel like?
Sure. Let's do that.
Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to guide the audience as to either the type of questions or context that you think is appropriate, maybe in light of the alignments that we currently have? What's your gut feeling?
I trust you.
I trust you. Okay. Anything goes, guys. Julie, you shouldn't have said that. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys. Questions for Julie. She's going to be using her oracle cards, maybe some tarot as well.
Yeah.
It's harder to do the live astrology with the software and all that and get the dates from everybody on a live show. So we won't be doing that here tonight, but we'll try to pull a few things for you guys. Colleen says, much love, JC, Julie, BeyondMystic. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Oh, you know what's funny too? We keep asking this question as of late. How does the BeyondMystic community fit in to the topics we're discussing? And you know what? It fits in a lot with Lemuria and also Atlantis. So stay tuned for those shows, guys.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Did you want to touch on that before as I scan for questions?
Yeah, I just want to say we've learned that a lot of us from the BeyondMystic community, I'm including myself in there, we've had past lives in Lemuria, we've had past lives in Atlantis. So that's what we kind of discovered on those 2 pay-per-views. And I think this is kind of one of the things that ties us together with what we're intending to do in this lifetime to help the awakening. So I think this is like a huge light that's been shed today.
Absolutely. Okay. I have a few cool questions here already lined up. Let me see if I can get those started on the comments. So I'm picking here quickly from the live chat, and then I'm going to move over to the Insider Access Pass community as well there. First one. Let me see if I can get this one great. Miss T74. Will my brother give me back my money? Okay. You want to pull some oracle cards on that? Let's see what the universe has to say on that one.
Sure.
All right.
Do that.
Violet Biggs will be next. Question about the WHO. Yeah, we could do that live. And then Bright Canada News about financial freedom. Okay. So those will be the 3 questions here in the live. And then I'm paying attention now to the Insider Access Pass. So guys, if you have questions for Julie, no holds barred, she said. So ask away.
Okay. I have... Well, first of all, okay, I have the Chariot. First of all, I brought a tarot card in, and then a Queen of Cups. So I'm thinking yes, but I also got this waxing crescent. So I think this is going to ask you to wait a little bit, but the Chariot seems very positive in this situation because it talks about moving forward, taking action, reaching your goals. And the Queen of Cups, when she's well aspected like she is right now, it can talk about like having what you want. So being emotionally happy. Mm-hmm. So I think we should say yes.
Okay, well, that's good news, Miss T74. Violet Biggs, will the WHO treaty pass? Okay. While you pull cards on that, Julie, I'm going to answer the next question here. Barbara Russo saying, Julie, okay to go with projects even in Mercury retrograde shadow. Actually, Julie and I were talking about this just the other day with the Academy, and we also had Janine pull cards on this. And what came out was, if your project was already underway before the retrograde and you're making changes, upgrades, whatever, yes. But if it's a brand new thing, you might want to end till the end of the retrograde to start something completely.
Exactly.
That helps, Barbara.
Yep.
So
well answered. Thank you.
Okay, I pay attention when you guys speak, Janine and Julie. You guys are amazing. Okay, Violet Biggs, will the WHO treaty pass? Lots of energy towards the militarization, towards the centralization of control, but there's also this opposite energy now moving us into the age of Aquarius, where we're busting all of that stuff. So might it perhaps pass to then eventually be dissolved? What do the cards have to say?
Well, first of all, I think it's going to pass. I have the 5 of Wands and I have the Tower. So, and the Tower can be either really good or really bad, depending on how it's suspected. But with the 5 of Wands, it talks about like a sort of war energy, battling energy. And so I think yes. And I think it's going to steer a lot of things and lots of aggressivity and feelings. And then I'm going to pull cards for after.
Barbara Russo says, awesome. Okay, we answered her question. That's very good. Please, JC. Please what? I'm missing the question. I meant the question.
So after a while, I think it will revert to a more positive situation or decision, because we have the 6 of Cups, so going back to the past, and also 3 of Wands, so making new choices for the future. So I think the near future looks kind of bad on that particular question, but I think it's going to be revised later on.
Okay, Violet Biggs, that's the answer. Bright Canada News, Bright Can News, question about the upcoming financial freedom. So concept-wise, for people who are just tuning in, not sure what we're talking about, we're seeing a big financial transition. There's going to be some dislocations, but ultimately, the energies are favoring humans in the sense that we might have a good chance, perhaps for the first time in many thousands of years, to remove this bug off our back. And that means that we can break away from all of those systems of siphoning off our energy to creating our own organic economies, where, of course, the abundance can come from, as it is derived for the highest good of humans. That's what we're all hoping for, but there are some difficulties here in the transition, of course. So, Julie, general cards on that. What else can you share with the audience members?
Okay. I chose to go with oracle cards for this one.
Right.
So first one, I have rise above it. So it says choose to vibrate higher. So not get into the fear of the change, not get into scarcity mindset. So it's really asking you, and you see the little lady is kind of levitating above the ground. So it's asking us to stay higher and see it from a higher perspective, to see the long-term goals instead of just the big changes that are upon us. And also the second card I have is, very interestingly, true freedom.
I love it.
It says freedom to live your life exactly as your soul chose to.
And you know what? In the mainstream news, we were just talking about this, and then I think on the Monday night show with Janine, where people are starting to rise above the financial system, and they're trading amongst themselves in a barter system now, completely eliminating the middleman. That gives you freedom also. So there's a lot of changes there. Really cool. Somebody says, hey, JC, those cards that Julie just pulled on the WHO are the same cards that Janine pulled on the same question. I'm like, nah, no wonder. Isn't that funny? Wow, it's crazy how every time I ask her questions too on the same subject 3 months later, like, how is it possible that all of the cards, she'll pull out the same cards again, other than there's some divine guidance there for sure. Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Okay, so that's it for these 3 for now. I might come back to this live chat here. I'm looking at Anne-François from the Insider Access Pass. Would love to know what is coming up for me in the next 6 months. Lots of life changes. Thanks. Lots of love. And François.
The next 6 months. Okay, sometimes the cards don't want to jump. Oh, okay. So first of all, I've got the 9th house, which are my astrology cards. 9th house, journeys. So I'm thinking maybe a trip, maybe a travel, or it could also be discovering something new. So maybe learning something new, teaching something new is the 9th house too. So it's kind of asking you to expand your horizons, maybe read something new, learn about a new subject, discover something new. So it's about like getting on to a new journey for you. And I'm going to pull an oracle cards to go with it. Oh.
That one jumped.
Yeah, this one wanted to come out. Okay, interesting. So we've got creation energy. So what is trying to be birthed through you? So, Anne, I think you're kind of being asked to, birth something new. So either a new project in regards to teaching, learning, traveling, that's going to allow you or the people you choose to deal with to open their horizons and maybe learn something new.
Whoa, cool. And François, good luck with that. Laurie Maillot. Hey, Julie, JC, love you both and all that you do for this community. You keep me sane. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Wow, I love those comments. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Laurie. I appreciate that. And the tip, of course, Patricia Jacobs. Hello, can I ask, on Thursday, May 12th, last week, there was a gigantic ring around the sun. I'm in California. I was around noon for a few hours. What is the meaning behind this ring, which I've never seen in my 64 years, other than the scientific? I'm not sure I get that part. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, this one jumped, so the star. So it has to do with our connection to ETs, to our star families. And I've got the Hierophant, but this time well aspected. So it's kind of like a download coming to you from your star families or your guides, giving you like a certain teaching or an energetic upgrade. So it's like instant downloads, because this one is about teaching, it's about learning, it's about seeing things that you didn't know before. But with the star, it's like an instant download.
Isn't that funny? We were talking about that today as we were recording the Atlantis show. And we talked about the fact that in the community here last week, people were asking about sun gazing. And now here you are talking about these huge downloads, again, connected to the sun.
Yeah. And it's so interesting because in this Atlantis episode, I've talked in the beginning about the connection between Atlantis and this time, which is very much connected about the sun, because Atlantis, the fall of Atlantis, was occurring during the Leo era in astrology, the age of Leo, which is ruled by the sun. And right now we're at the exact opposite, entering the age of Aquarius. So 12,000 years later, we've got to integrate all of that sun knowledge and to awaken even more. So sun gazing, getting downloads from the sun. So we're learning a lot about this team right now.
And like Cliff High says, the benefits of sunning your balls. It's a whole other show.
Yeah.
Elliot Accardi, JC, need to have a Penny and Julie to do a show together. Oh, that could be fun. That would be nice energies. I love mixing people's energies together. That could be fun. Elliot, thank you. That's
I love
good.
Penny Kelly. She's great.
Really cool. Guys, go check out the show from last night. Really cool show also. Kevin Costello. Okay, let me see. I don't know what I can ask. I'm looking about my present. Leo. Okay, let's pull a card. Generally speaking, short term, presently, what does universe want Kevin Costello to know?
Okay, just a sec. I'm gonna change my chart. Okay, so let's get an oracle card. Whoa. Okay. So I have, first of all, Sagittarius, which is also about the ninth house, the card we've had earlier. So again, a lot of discovery, learning about new things, expanding your horizons, learning about new subjects, getting rid of limiting beliefs, also learning about new things. And if I put your sun on the ascendant of the chart right now, Jupiter in the sign of Aries is entering your ninth house as well. So it's all about this energy of learning, teaching, seeing things from a higher perspective too, and exploring new things. So it's a really nice energy of exploration. And I'm going to get an oracle card as well.
And while you do that, Betty, Filiatro, oui, Filiatro. Thank you, Jason, Julie, best show ever. Thank you, appreciate that.
Nice. Okay. So I've got, you are the medicine. Your life story, your journey is your medicine to this world. So with this ninth house energy, I feel like you've got something to share with the world that's going to help or to educate the world. So you've got something to share that's going to be very healing. And also I've got celebrate being human. So existence is a miracle. So maybe go, I think the universe is asking you to explore a little bit more, maybe sacred sites, maybe some specific places on Earth where you can really connect and recharge. Because it's a really spiritual energy that I had for you, but also feel connected with sacred sites or specific places on Earth.
Un gros merci, vous êtes géniaux. I love it. Payman S.
Oh, thank you.
Pas souvent des commentaires en français. Merci, appreciate it. Okay, thank you. That's great. Okay, let's see the next one here. Tracy Musel, thank you so much, Tracy. That's amazing. And she's asking, was a galactic human guardian involved with an interview I had, I guess a job interview I had, yes, a few weeks ago. Thank you both for all you do.
Galactic human guardian.
Yeah. So basically off-world energy helping her or involved somehow in her job interview a few weeks ago. Cool. Wisdom Helps Crypto says, great messages, Julie. I agree.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, first of all, I have this card. So it kind of says that you ask for help or guidance. So there's someone who, like a guide, who was there to help you go outside your comfort zone, because this card is about newness, about discovering new things, getting out of your comfort zone. Yes. So it's kind of, yes, you ask for help or for guidance to be not as stressed, because also I have this card of like having a lot of mental stress going on with this interview maybe, and not really seeing the future. And also I've got the devil. And in this case, it talks about limiting beliefs, fears also. So having a lot of fears, but connected to the past, maybe past experiences that I've kind of left you with a bad taste in your mouth with this kind of experience of job or interviews. So I feel that yes, and it's very positive because it allowed you to maybe let go of these more negative experiences in the past and feel like a new person to go outside your comfort zone.
Wow, Tracy, interesting. A lot of people would love to ask for ET help and get it just like that. You must be important, Tracy. We all are. Okay, Parisan. Can I do this one here? Okay, I'll come back to that one. John, Christopher, I wonder if Cliff's the 19th to the 27th, you remember he was talking about the 7 days in May, is connected to a solar super flare.
Okay, let's ask.
In the astrology, you were talking about fire also here, volcanoes coming
And
up.
I know, yeah, I just listened to Janine before this live. Janine did a video on her channel about the event, and she thinks, and a lot of truthers think, that it might be connected to a solar flare as well. So
Yeah. Okay.
okay, let's ask.
So generally speaking, does it have anything to do with the solar flare? And I'll ask a subsequent also, what's up with the 7 days of May that will ostensibly start tomorrow here? Are we still on track with that? Has it been moved forward, moved backward, depending on all of this give or take here in this spiritual war? And then I'll go back to the Insider Access Pass. Annette has a great question about military pushing for disclosure. So Annette, I'll come back to you there. And there's 2 or 3 more there as well. Go ahead, Julie.
So I get that it's going to be maybe pushed back a little, because this card is about holding, resisting, kind of preventing the event from happening. So there's resistance in the energies, and it comes from the dark hats that are trying to prevent this event from happening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually. That was interesting because on May 9th, I believe, Cliff had forecasted that on May 9th, something would happen that would set up the May 19th emotional tension spike. And then he came out to say, oh, no, he believes it was May 6th or May 5th, whenever the Federal Reserve increased the by 50 basis points, the interest rates. Now, he thought maybe it would be moved up. But then again, what's happening in Europe right now, which we can't really talk about here too, seems to be delaying a lot of the other stuff that we thought would be happening. So you're right, this push and pull type of energy here. John, Christopher, great question. Thank you for that.
But with the, if I may add, with the astrology, whether we're trying to resist from the changes is going to happen anyways. Like the eclipses are really huge portals of energy. So whether it's happening in May or in June or in July, it's going to happen. That's for sure.
Right. It's triggering all of these events. Now, whether or not we see it and hear about it in the mainstream news right away might be the difference there too. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, where's Annette? I saw Annette. Did it scroll off the screen? Annette, okay. David Wilcox says U.S. military pushing for a full disclosure. Has anyone seen his video on Rumble? And is that true?
So
is the U.S. military pushing for full disclosure, ET disclosure?
Okay.
You remember, Janine? We kind of asked, Julie, we kind of asked Janine the same question here on this Earth Space Force video. No, I think that was the Navy wanted to, but I don't think the rest of the military forces wanted to. Was that correct? I forget what
I don't remember her answer, but I've got I've got a no here.
Oh, no. Okay.
I've got the moon, which is secrecy, keeping things hidden still. And the 4 of Cups is also like a resistant energy. So it might be maybe more an issue of timing, but for sure they're not thinking about disclosing things yet.
Interesting. And somebody's asking, JC, why is the letter with a little bar / in it as calendar end on May 20th? Good question indeed. And again, if you want to have more details on that, the convergencies of convergencies, go check out Cliff High's video on that. It's a couple of weeks old already. He's talking about all of these convergencies turning into emergencies here as we are getting to this combinoric effect here of all of these changes happening at once. And a lot of those boards were referring to this particular time frame and also that 7 days of May. So we're in the thick of it now, that's for sure. Okay, let me see. So I did Annette. I had another cool one. Okay, so Marie-Jeanne 22, she was asking about the 7 days in May from Cliff High. Is it still on the timeline? Okay, so we just answered that one. Okay, we're on track. We must be psychic. Okay. Question, healing. Tough questions for the live chat, guys. Let me see. Trying to get another. Okay, what I'll do, let me see if I can grab it. Okay, there was another here. Okay, let me do this one here first. Parisan, this is in the YouTube live chat. And while Julie answers this one, I'll scan for more questions on the Insider Access Pass. It's just hard sometimes when it scrolls too fast to find them, especially if you're not all in high caps. Parisan, JC, Julie, please pull cards for me whether my relationship with my sister heals and we reconnect and unite again. Much love to you both. Parisan, great question.
Okay, I think it's a yes. I've got a lot of cups energy in this question. So first of all, I've got a yes, an emotional yes. So it's a really good sign. I feel there's someone that's resistant because I've got this in the resistance energy. So the Queen of Cups. So it might talk about one of your sisters that's kind of against it or still not ready for reconnecting. But I feel like you will probably have to do the first steps in regards to this reconnection, because someone is still like unsure or has how can we say that, like resistance. Let's just say resistance. But in the future, I've got this card, which is the Three of Wands. So so you might have to talk about maybe making plans for the future with your sister. So talking about the future, talking about common plans, common goals is going to really help you reconnect. But I've got really positive cards, so I'm thinking a big yes.
Okay. Hey, Pegazan, that's great news. Okay, I have another Insider Access Pass question. I think we'll do that, and then we'll end with Canadian travel updates. Like I'm seeing quite a few come up in the live stream on that. Of course, we're both Canadian, so we'll do that maybe last, and I'll try to see if I can pull in another PayPal donation also here tonight. So VCJ Lixai question: was the recent tsunami in Tonga related to an attack by the White Hats on the hidden continent in the South Pacific? We were just talking about a hidden continent on the pay-per-view today, and of course, this relates to a conversation I had with Jay Widener a couple of weeks ago. Okay, this is a great question. Was the recent tsunami in Tonga related to an attack by the White Hats on the hidden continent in the South Pacific? Crazy.
I guess it's more complicated than that. I have the Hangman and also the Two of Swords. So so I'm not gonna say it's not a yes for me. It's more like a lot of things are involved. Yeah, it's complicated. Yeah.
Wasn't that a movie with Jack Nicholson? Wasn't it called It's Complicated? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
But I've got the King of Pentacles. So someone is behind this, but for the moment, it's kind of veiled and really hard to have a good answer. But it's more complicated than that. So.
All right. It was complicated. It's complicated. That was a funny comedy, actually. Meryl Streep. What's the other guy's name? Baldwin. Alec Baldwin. Yeah. Steve Martin too. Oh yeah. This was really funny. Actually, if you guys haven't seen this and you want to laugh, you might want to check it out. Okay. Canadian travel. We'll do that last. Let me bring up the PayPal question here for AO. AO. Wasn't there a show on TV called OA?
Yeah, I love it.
The original. Did you see that? With the octopus and everything?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, the OA. I'll read it as the OA. Thank you for giving me hope. Please, the eclipses are killing me, kicking me.
Guidance.
My soul. I need guidance. All right, let's give
the
OA.
I'll change deck for you. AO, OA.
OA. Some guidance. Love it.
Okay. Okay, it's funny because I pulled this card on the day of the eclipse for myself. So I don't know how to pronounce the title of this card, but it says longing for home, homesick for the stars. So it's kind of you knowing you're a star seed and not really wanting to have this earthly experience right now because it's really hard, like you said, kicking your ass. but it's kind of reminding you that your soul contract is to be here to help the awakening right now. So it's kind of telling you to get grounded, try to enjoy more earthly pleasures, try to really have something you can look forward in your day, take care of yourself, really focus on the earthly experience, because this is what you signed for.
Right.
This is what we all signed for.
It is funny. That's kind of what the octopus is telling the OA in this show too, about where she's at and what dimension and why she's there. And so she gets a bigger, broader understanding of her part in this whole movie. She's in a movie. Anyways, inside a movie.
Oh, someone else says, I just pulled this card today. Me too. It was my card for the eclipse. That's so crazy.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, okay. Big energy for everybody, I think.
Awesome. All right. Okay, last question away, I promise. Who's that? Eileen Mawson? Okay. Hey, travel update, please. Yes.
So, okay, I pulled 2 cards for this earlier. I've got the 10 of Wands and I've got the Sun. So 10 of Wands is the end of a cycle. So I think it's not going to be too long. And the Sun talks about sunny destinations and hope. And it's a really positive card. So I think it's not going to be much longer. Let's try to get more clarity on timing, maybe.
It's funny, just last week in Quebec, before they announced the removal of the diaper-wearing facial coverings, the day before they had said it was going to be vitam aeternam, basically forever. So suddenly, like that, the next day the policy changed. So yeah, what's the timing on this travel policy?
Well, timing is always tricky with the cards, but I'll try to do my best. Since time doesn't exist, right? So I've got the Leo card, which talks about Leo season. So it would be end of July. Let's hope it's before that, but this is what the cards say.
That raises some other questions, and guys, you can go read this Instagram post. I'll bring the link down below. Global coalition here of aviators talking about some of the difficulties with related to the products and people who took products and who might be damaged by the products, but also about this weird I can't even say it here on the show. We'll leave it for now. You guys can go check it out for yourselves. But there's a lot coming out in the open on this topic. And of course, that might force governments also here to backtrack on some of these policies, if only to save face or to save their own collective asses. So we'll see how that goes. JC, please read Ben Thompson's question. Okay, where is it? I'll do that. Ben Thompson, where's your question? Guys, help me out. We're running out of time. Can't see it. I'm scrolling up. Because you have to understand, when you're a few thousand in the chat, it's not that easy to pick up. I don't see it. Ben, Jean-Claude, I have a question in the tip jar. You do? Okay. Hold on. God damn it. You guys are making me work. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. I had just closed that.
Okay. While you search for that, I pulled an oracle card for Ben.
Okay.
So I've got You're Not Alone. Isolation, physical connection, community. So basically what we're doing right now. So I think a lot of us are feeling isolated, maybe because of your family, friends. Maybe you don't have a lot of people that think like us around you. And it kind of tells you that right now, this community that we're having here is really important. And not only to you, but I think to all of us, it's a message that we've got each other. So not really focus on the isolation part, but maybe more on finding people that think like you. And did you find this question?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can bring it up. Ben Thompson. Thank you, JC. Janine, for all you do. What do the cards have to say about my new career?
Okay.
Does that speak to moving out of isolation, maybe?
Well, maybe it's online. Maybe it's he's working from home, so that would.
Okay.
His new career.
You know, Ben Thompson, he's been around since like the beginning. My first channel, so 3 channels ago. So big thank you to Ben Thompson. He's been around for a long time. Really cool.
Well, I've got, first of all, the Two of Wands for Ben. So it kind of talk about a choice between two jobs, between two offers. So maybe you were looking at two different things and having to make a choice. If you didn't make the choice already, I think a choice is about to come in your near future. So you'll have to make a decision about maybe some place you want to be, maybe you want to move, maybe you want to take another added job, or there's going to be a choice to make. But I've got the 10 of Cups in the future, so that's a really positive card. It talks about emotional fulfillment. So I think you made the right decision if the choice was already made before the job. So I think this job that you're getting now is going to really allow you to be happy, emotionally fulfilled, feel like you give the best of yourself and you can be in service.
Wow, very good. Hey, thank you everyone for all the love in the chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting us as we are trying to hold the fort here while Janine is on her travel journey to the Haida Gwaii. We're so excited to be able to share some of those live updates with you starting next Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern. Julie, before we end the show, I made a few faux pas as I was trying to explain the updates on the birth charts and also on the shipping of the candles. Now, what I did mean, let's just explain that to the audience members, because I think a few people got my interpretation, or maybe the context, or maybe it was out of context. I don't know what I'm saying. What's going on with the birth charts and the candles, Julie?
Okay, well, starting with the birth charts, because we've done a show on past lives, which was really interesting. So yes. If you want to know more about your past life, there's a little bit of a description in the birth chart, but if you really want to know more about your past lives, I would encourage you to book with Sophie. She's really the expert with past lives. She does tarot, but she does also mediumship. So she sees things, she gets download about your past lives. So that's going to be your best option if you really want to know more.
And what I was saying was, in the context of the past lives and the soul contracts we did, having your birth chart, knowing where that node, it's the south node, I believe. How do you explain that?
Exactly.
Is in your placement will give you indications as to where to look, but it's not a full report, of course, on your past life. I was speaking in the context of that particular show. So thank you for making that clear. But folks, if you absolutely want a reading and tap into some of these past lives,
it's like a good starting point to get your birth chart, but you'll have to investigate a little bit more on this particular subject if it's what you're interested to.
And knowing some of those alignments will also probably help Sophie here in the reading kind of pinpoint, because just so you know, I had a mini past life, I guess, consultation with Sophie last week. As we finished the show, we were doing the past life special. Where was that? Guys, if you haven't seen this one, hold on. See if I can.
The one, with past lives with Janine too.
Yes, this one here with Janine. Absolutely amazing show. And anyways, in the after show, Sophie told me some stuff. I was just like, we were like slack jaw. She's like, she was on fire on this episode, and you can really see the blue electricity coming out of her eyes in this particular episode. Absolutely cool. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Okay, so past lives. The birth charts. Okay, now candles. So
candles.
I mentioned the other day, because a lot of people were asking, hey, where are my candles? I mentioned that we were now on track with the original bulk order that arrived when we did the launch. That was the biggest thing, the mountain of boxes that you beautiful people had to get through here to ship all of this. I can't find the slide now, of course, as I'm there. But let's talk about the normal shipping time periods you're at now and what people can expect also here for the candles themselves.
Yeah, exactly. So the first 3 days next to the launch that we did with the candles were like crazy. So she finally got out of those 3 days of orders. So that's what JC meant by being up to date. It wasn't really up to date with the new orders. So some people send me emails being like, did you forget my order? We didn't. We're still, I would say, about maybe 2 weeks now of delay from the order to shipping. So
that was the original quote that you gave people. It would take 2 to 3 weeks approximately because of course you're making these by hands as the orders are coming in, and you guys had no expectation of how big the orders would come in. So anyways.
And she puts a lot of love and energy. She doesn't want to automatize this process too much. She wants to keep it like handmade. She recharges the crystal at the full moon. She puts a lot of loving energy, and she doesn't want anybody to touch her candles because she wants to put all of her positive energy. So she's really careful with that. So
very good. And in that way, she's very similar to our friend Carla at Ascension Organized. So if you guys are looking also for some cool pyramids, Carla is hard at work also.
Yeah.
You can find her at ascensionorganized.com. There, if you use the coupon code BeyondMystic, you'll get 10% off of these amazing pyramids. And yes, you can show us your beautiful pyramid. That's the same one, actually.
I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you, Carla. And thank you to the lovely person that sent it to me.
Who donated us. Yes, a big thank you to you guys. And Julie, of course, on your side too, coupon code, where's that? This 10% on the readings and the birth charts. Is it the same code also for the candles?
Yes, it's always the same code. Very easy. BeyondMystic.
Across the board, 10% off.
Yes.
Candles, the birth charts, or the tarot bookings with Sophie. All right, guys. This was the impromptu kind of weird change in the schedule. Tarot readings by Janine. We hope that we entertained you and you guys had fun with us here tonight, and that you know now a little bit more how we are going to manage the schedule here for the next couple of weeks. So please join us on the Monday nights for the live updates with Julie and Janine from the Hideaway, and our typical Wednesday show with Janine will be on, except for the, I believe was the June 8th one or June 15th? Yeah, instead of the June 8, we're going to do Thursday, June 9. But at any rate, yes, please just check the schedule online and book your calendars. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Merci beaucoup, Julie. And we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Bye. Bye, everybody.